What's going on, everybody? Your two favorite wild rascals are back here today to talk about another Hulu limited and original series. It's called Dopesick. Premiered back in October of 2021 on Hulu. And it's based on a nonfiction book that's called Dopesick, Dealers, Doctors, and the Drug Company That Addicted America. And it is all about the opioid crisis, and specifically with this drug, OxyContin, that this big pharmaceutical company, Purdue Pharma, introduced. And it's about this mining town in Virginia that, became addicted to this pill. It was a painkiller, and it pretty much plagued the town and led to this huge controversy. And this story just explodes. I didn't know a lot about this. I'd heard, some things about OxyContin back in the day, but Dopesick really does a great job of showing the whole story from the perspectives of several different people. We have Michael Keaton's character, who's Dr. Phoenix, who ends up prescribing this new drug on the market that he believes and everybody believes is safe. But it comes to find out that the pharmaceutical company is, their amount of money that they have and the capital that they have is so influential that they're able to release this product to the public, and they get the FDA to, even look past some of their shady data. They're able to introduce this drug that ended up just, plaguing this town and leading to a bunch of overdoses and deaths and some truly tragic stuff here. But Dopesick, this is a really personal story, and it's really effective because it really puts a face on addiction, and it shows you just how much it affects not only the person that's addicted and going through this stuff, but the families, the town, the doctor, the whole country. We're in an opioid crisis now, and Dopesick is the perfect show to watch to, educate yourself on this crisis. And it's eye-opening in every way, to say the least. But our main character here is Dr. Phoenix, played by Michael Keaton. And, we love Michael Keaton, and that's where the story begins.
This time around, him playing this Dr. Samuel Phoenix, he's persuaded by this Purdue Pharma, sales rep named Billy Cutler, played by Will Poulter. Love that actor. Huge fans of his work, but he was really great in the show. With Purdue, they brainwash their sales reps to keep selling and selling. Don't worry about how strong this medication is, prescription drugs, how addicting it is. It's all about making money. So Will Poulter's character comes in to talk to Dr. Phoenix about this, drug, this new drug, OxyContin, that was kind of unheard of back then. And eventually throughout the show, you see people just getting, overdosing on it, becoming, really addicted to it, including Dr. Samuel Phoenix. He ends up becoming an addict and getting hooked on OxyContin. So really depressing story, seeing all these people's lives falling apart, even people that are, have good jobs, educated. It's a dangerous drug. But it really starts this opioid crisis in this mining town. You have a lot of miners get hurt. It's a very dangerous job. They need painkillers, and that's how they get hooked on this new drug that's introduced in this Virginia town. Other characters in the show are having to do with the U.S. attorneys. We got Peter Sarsgaard and John Hugencar trying to bring down, Purdue Pharma, and saying that it's really bad. They see, how many people are dying from this, and trying to take down this big evil corporation that's killing off, millions of people. And then other characters that they focus on in this series are the Sacklers, the Sackler family behind Purdue. We're introduced to Richard, Michael Stolberg from Boardwalk Empire. Mr. Arnold Rothstein is your cliche, corporate scumbag that all he cares about is money. He probably wears tidy whities and sleeps with his mom at night.
Dopesick really focuses on this patient-doctor relationship between a character, Betsy Malum. She's this young teenage girl who works in the mines along with her dad. It's a mining town in Virginia. And there's this accident that happens down when she's in the mine, and she severely injures her back. And she, she's been going to the doctors trying to get relief for this massive pain that afflicts her. Her doctor is Dr. Phoenix, played by Michael Keaton, and he's trying medication out on her. Nothing's really working. But like you mentioned, he had met with the farm rep earlier, got introduced to this new drug on the market, OxyContin, which is supposed to be less addictive. It's supposed to be extended release, so you don't, it works over time. But as we find out through the show, the pharmaceutical company, purposely lied and, put out this product, knowing full well that it was more addictive than anything before, and they just kept increasing the dose here. You really get a look at the mindset of this Richard Sackler, played by Michael Stuhlbarg. You get just an idea of how sociopathic and how evil this guy was. He didn't give a shit about his family life. There's scenes with his family. They're trying to get him to go out with the kids and go on these ski trips. He won't even do that. This guy is so focused on this drug and making millions. He's putting his whole life's effort into this. But he knows that this drug is super addictive. They get all this data, they hide it, they manipulate it. They're able to manipulate even the Food and Drug Administration to introduce this drug on the market, and they make so much money off it. It's unbelievable. And Dr. Phoenix ends up prescribing OxyContin to Betsy Malum, played by Caitlin Dever here, in just a terrific role. She really portrays this young teenage girl in agony from this, painful incident that happened at her work in the mines, and going to show just how addictive OxyContin is, and trying to kick it, and just how it changes your brain chemistry, and you're physically not able to quit this drug without help. And eventually we even see Dr. Phoenix himself. He gets into a car accident at one point in the middle of the series, and he becomes an OxyContin addict himself. And it opens his eyes to just how evil and how bad this drug is. We're having all these overdose deaths, specifically in this mining town in Virginia here. Obviously there's so many injuries that happen down in the mines. So it's the story is very effective, looking at just the tragic story of Betsy Malum. There's towards the end there, Dr. Phoenix kind of gets his stuff together, but it's too late. That she's tried everything. Betsy's tried everything. By the time Dr. Phoenix finds a promising drug that can help, block the effects of the withdrawal from the OxyContin, it's too late. She's moved on to trying to get high from heroin. Yeah. So it's just a super tragic look, and this show does a phenomenal job of looking at it from so many different aspects. You get not only the view from, looking on Betsy's life and how it falls apart, but to her parents, but also these investigators that are trying to investigate what's going on here, and just slowly uncovering the truth, and just seeing how much fraud was involved in this whole thing. You also have the character Rosario Dawson plays Bridget Meyer. She's in a relationship herself, but they have to be so focused on this case and uncovering all this truth, because Purdue Pharma has all the money in the world, and they're able to get the best lawyers and pay off, everybody, even government officials and people involved, the higher ups, that, we're able to just put this drug on the market, even though knowing the danger. And it just led to the opioid crisis that we're in today. OxyContin's huge. You've heard, it's something that everybody has a personal experience with. We've heard of celebrities, getting addicted to this, losing their hearing, and just their lives falling apart. So Dopesick really does a great job just giving you the whole story of how OxyContin came on the market, how this pharmaceutical company is so evil, and how the whole town in Virginia here, their lives just slowly dissipate. And by the end, they finally rally together, and they figure out that the only way they're going to defeat this huge pharmaceutical company is to band together and strengthen numbers, really, because they know they're not going to be able to defeat them in court. But if they get this story out to the mass, they'll be enough of a disgrace put on that name of the pharmaceutical family that owns it, that they won't be able to do this to people anymore. So just a really crazy look at this story, really sobering and sad. Really, this was a heavy pill to swallow, so to say, but really phenomenally done. And just some great performances, specifically from Caitlin Devers, Michael Keaton, and Peter Skarsgård, and the other agent there. The other lawyer there. They really did a great job of putting this whole story together and showing you just how big this is. I feel like this isn't a big enough story, but even me and you are personally affected by this kind of crisis, and we know several of our friends that have went down this path. So
I felt the story is very relatable. Addiction issues in my younger days, and people I've known throughout my life that lost their lives to drugs and other addictions and things like that. This show is not very happy, it's not very uplifting, but it's really showing a crisis that's been going on for many years. They still haven't, figured this out, how to stop this drug. People are still taking it, people are overdosing. So it hits a little close to home for me personally, watching this. I really enjoyed seeing these characters, and even though their lives are destroyed, I thought the acting was really top notch, phenomenal. A lot of grade A celebrities in the show: Rosario Dawson, Caitlin Dever, Michael Keaton, Will Poulter, all really stand up performances. Peter Sarsgaard as well, and just really great and depressing story. Just seeing how these people's lives change, how it destroyed this small town in Virginia, based on a true story, and how many lives and cities and states it's destroyed over the years. So it's something we're still dealing with in 2022. Very relatable for me, and a show that I thoroughly enjoyed. So with that being said, I'm going to give Dopesick, that was 8 episodes on Hulu, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 Uncle Will Poulter hair pieces.
A tragic look at a situation that's still happening in the world today, and addiction issues are everywhere. These drugs are made so strong when they were marketed as being safe, and it just, people started taking them, and before they knew it, they were addicted. It doesn't take much. This drug's so strong, it changes your brain chemistry, and you can't kick it. You need more and more and more. And they kept upping the doses on here, and doing whatever they could in their power to influence these pharmacy reps. Will Poulter's character there was a really phenomenal look at kind of the life of the pharmacy reps, and specifically how they were coached to selling this drug. And and just the moment that he kind of figures out the damage it's doing, just seeing his life fall apart because just of the guilt. He's been pushing this on people. They're promised these big packages of money at their work and trips and these big lavish gifts, in order to pump out this drug and to get all these doctors to start prescribing it. And then before you know it, you get a whole town, and then throughout the world, it's just become a huge crisis with everybody addicted to this drug and, losing their lives to it. So just a really sobering look at this story, but a really terrific series. There weren't any weak spots in this for me. All the acting was top notched. Loved all the performances. Michael Keaton, this is one of his best performances ever for sure. He really brought his A game in this, especially, seeing him be this nice doctor, thought he was helping out this young girl at the beginning, and then eventually he's addicted to the same drug, and you just see him, at the bottom of the barrel too. But then he gets his redemption at the end, of course. He takes the town and opens up this rehabilitation center, and he knows the drugs that worked and helped him to wean himself off this drug. So he's going to help these other younger people and break this cycle of addiction, hopefully. Just a great series. It's one that, it's not very happy, but it's sobering, and it's something that you should watch. It's worth watching, and it's worth knowing what's going on there. We can protect our kids, hopefully, from stuff like this in the future. With that being said, I'm going to give Dopesick, the Hulu original 8-episode miniseries, a 4.5 out of 5 Michael Keaton hair pieces.
So we're interested in hearing your guys' thoughts on Dopesick. Did you read the book? What did you like about the TV show? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Also, check out these wild rascals here on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages. Also, our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV, movie news, and reviews. Me and this guy over here are going to be reviewing more TV shows and movies coming out February. There's some good content coming out, so we thoroughly enjoy coming back and talking about some, things we're checking out, and maybe some, TV shows and movies you guys haven't heard of. But me and this guy love talking about it for you guys. And we'll be back here very soon to share our thoughts.
That's right. So until the next Cinephellas TV review, I've been Uncle Henry Hill, and that's my good mate, Logan Myers. As always, guys, thanks for tuning in. And until the next Cinephellas review, cheers!